I came home from a 5-day business trip to find my mother-in-law had moved into our guest room permanently, and my husband had agreed to it without telling me a single word. I need to give you some background first, because this didn't come out of nowhere. My husband Marcus and I have been married for 3 years. His mother, Linda, has never liked me. Not in the dramatic, screaming match way you see in movies, in the quiet, surgical way, where every conversation has a small cut hidden inside it. Compliments that aren't compliments. "Oh, you cooked? I'm surprised. Marcus said you don't really enjoy the kitchen." Things like that, dropped casually, then followed by a sweet smile if I reacted at all, so that I'd be the one who looked oversensitive. Marcus always brushed it off. "That's just how she talks. She means well. You're too sensitive about this." For 3 years, I let it go, because I told myself I married Marcus, not his mother, and I wasn't gonna let her live in my head rent-free. Then I got the trip. A 5-day conference out of state, the kind that could fast-track my promotion if I handled it well. I was nervous and excited. Marcus seemed normal when I left. Kissed me goodbye, told me to crush it, said he'd pick me up from the airport. On day 3 of the trip, I called him and heard a voice in the background that made my stomach drop. Linda's voice, asking him where the good towels were kept. I asked Marcus, casually, why his mother was at our house. He said she'd stop by to drop off some food. Fine, people do that. I let it go. Day 4, same thing. Her voice again, this time asking about the thermostat settings. I asked again, a little less casually this time. He said she was helping him organize some things, since I was away anyway. I came home on day 5, jet-lagged, rolling my suitcase through the door, and the first thing I saw was a new lamp in the entryway that I did not put there. Then I saw a coat that wasn't mine or Marcus's hanging by the door. Then I heard the shower running in her guest bathroom at 9 in the morning on a weekday. Marcus met me in the kitchen with this overly bright smile, the kind people give you right before they tell you something they know you won't like. He said, "So, funny story," and I knew. I just knew. His mother's apartment lease had ended unexpectedly. A dispute with her landlord. And rather than help her find a short-term rental or stay in a hotel for a couple weeks, Marcus had offered her our guest room. Not for a weekend, not for until she sorts things out. He used the word "for now," which in my experience is the most dangerous phrase in the English language, because "for now" somehow always becomes indefinitely. He hadn't called me. He hadn't texted me. He had made a decision that fundamentally changed the shape of our household. Who lives in it, who has access to it, whose voice gets a say in the day-to-day of it. And he made that decision completely alone, while I was hundreds of miles away, unable to weigh in even if I'd wanted to. I asked him the obvious question, "Why didn't you call me?" His answer is the part that actually broke something in me. He said, "I knew you'd say no, and I didn't want to start a fight over the phone while you were trying to focus on your conference." Read that again. He didn't avoid telling me because it was a small detail. He avoided telling me because he correctly predicted I would object, and he decided his mother's comfort was worth overriding my voice in my own home. Linda, for her part, came out of the guest bathroom in my robe, my actual robe, the one I keep on the back of our bedroom door, and said, "Oh, you're back early," as if I had intruded on her schedule instead of the other way around. I didn't yell. I have learned that yelling gives people an excuse to focus on your tone instead of their actions. I went to our bedroom, closed the door, and sat on the bed for about 20 minutes, just breathing. Then I came out and said 3 things, calmly, to both of them in the same room. 1. Linda was welcome to stay for 2 weeks while she found a new place, and I would even help her look at listings, because I'm not a monster, and a sudden lease termination is genuinely stressful. 2. After 2 weeks, this conversation about an extension would happen with all 3 of us present, not behind my back while I was on a plane. 3. Marcus and I needed to have a much longer conversation, alone, about what partnership means in a marriage. Because right now, it felt like he made unilateral decisions about our shared life and only loops me in once the decision is already a physical reality I'm tripping over in the hallway. Marcus tried the "you're making this bigger than it needs to be" line, which, if you've ever heard that phrase directed at you, you already know is a script people use when they got caught making a decision they knew you'd push back on.
I held my ground. I told him that "you'd say no" is not a reason to skip asking someone. It's the exact reason you're supposed to ask. Consent isn't consent if you only ask the people who'll agree with you. The 2 weeks happened. Linda found a place. Surprisingly quickly, once she realized I wasn't going to quietly absorb an open-ended arrangement. She moved out 12 days later, and our final interaction was her saying with that same syrupy tone, "Well, I hope you're happy now." Like setting a boundary in your own home is some kind of cruelty. Marcus and I did have that longer conversation. It wasn't fun. I told him that the issue was never really about his mother. It was about him making a major decision affecting our shared space and then hiding behind the assumption that I'd be unreasonable if asked directly. He admitted, eventually, that it was easier to ask forgiveness than permission, which is a sentence I now bring up anytime he tries that move again, because apparently I needed to say it out loud once for him to actually hear how it sounded. We're better now, genuinely. Not because the problem magically disappeared, but because I stopped accepting "she means well" and "you're too sensitive" as substitutes for an actual conversation. Marcus checks with me now before making decisions that affect our home, even small ones, because I made it clear that being asked isn't optional just because someone predicts the answer might be inconvenient. Linda and I are civil. Not close, probably never will be, but civil. And every time I walk past my robe hanging on our bedroom door now, I think about the version of me who almost just let it slide because I didn't want to make a scene. I'm glad she didn't win that argument.